Okay, so, you guys have been requesting this one for a while, and it's a big one. It's about making friends as adults.
Yeah.
And, you know, we, we all know how hard this could be. I mean, it's not like we're kids anymore, right? Like, we can't just
Oh,
go on the
yeah.
playground and, share a juice box and suddenly
Yeah.
you're best friends forever. So
It's just not how it works.
we've got your notes here.
Yeah.
And we're going to really kind of dive into this and give you some actionable advice.
It sounds good. I'm excited.
I think one of the things that the notes mentioned that I found really interesting was just the idea that, as adults, we're supposed to have it all figured out, right?
Right. Exactly.
But friendships don't really come with a manual.
No, they really don't. And it's interesting because we have this perception that once you hit adulthood, you should automatically know how to navigate these things.
Right, like it's just going to happen.
Exactly, yeah.
But like, where's the instruction manual?
Right.
Like no one gave us that.
Yeah, and because of that, I think it leads to a lot of pressure and a lot of self-doubt. And
Yeah.
people kind of thinking that there's something wrong with them because they're struggling with this. But honestly, it's completely normal.
I think that's such a good point. Just to acknowledge that you want more friends is actually like a strength. It's about that self-awareness to realize,
Exactly.
you know what? This is something that I want in my life.
Right, and it's about taking ownership of that and being proactive about it.
And these notes talk about like making the effort, but it's not like this,
Yeah, right.
big grand gesture or anything like that.
No, not at all.
What does that look like? What does putting in the effort look like when it comes to making friends as an adult?
So think of it this way. It's more about small, consistent actions, kind of like tending a garden,
Oh, like that.
You don't just plant a seed and expect it to magically blossom overnight, right? You've got to water it, you've got to weed it, nurture it over time.
Okay, so what if I'm listening to this and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to start my friendship garden.
Yeah.
What are some small steps? Like, what are some things that I can do right away?
Well, one of the things that came up in these notes that really resonated with me was actually engaging with someone's post on social media.
Okay.
Like if you see somebody posting about, a book they're reading or a movie they watched or a local event, that sounds interesting to you, leave a thoughtful comment. You'd be surprised at how often that can spark a conversation.
It's almost like a less intimidating way to start. Because I know a lot of people feel like, oh, I got to go to this event and like, walk up to a stranger. It's like, that's hard to do.
It can be. It can be. But I feel like something like a comment,
Right.
feels a little bit more natural and organic. And you're already on a platform where
Have that shared interest.
you already have that shared interest. Exactly.
So you're not starting from zero.
And even something as simple as, you have a colleague that you enjoy chatting with at work. Invite them for a coffee or lunch.
Yeah. Just something
Yeah, it doesn't have to be this big, elaborate...
casual outside of work.
Exactly.
What really stuck with me from the notes was this whole concept of not just finding people who have similar interests, but finding people who share your values.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
So think of it this way. Interests might initially bring you together, right?
Right. Yeah.
But when you have shared values, that's what creates that deeper connection, that sense of really understanding each other and respecting each other.
I see.
It's that feeling of like, you get me.
Yeah.
And then if you have disagreements, it's easier to navigate them
Oh, interesting.
because you have that foundation.
So it's almost like you're building a house, like shared values are like the foundation of a strong friendship.
Yes. That's such a great way to put it.
Because, if you don't have that and then something happens, it's like,
Right.
uh-oh, the house is going to fall down.
It all crumbles. Yeah.
But I think even when you find people with shared interests and values, there's still this like, it's hard to just be consistent. Like, how do you keep showing up? How do you keep putting in the effort? Like, it's easy to start something and then life gets in the way.
And the notes had this great point about how it's a lot like a gym membership.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
The hardest part is often just getting there.
Right. Because once you're there.
Exactly. Like, all right, I'm here. I might as well do the workout.
Do the workout, exactly.
But that initial hurdle of just getting yourself there.
And that's true with anything in life, but friendships especially.
Yeah.
I think we can all relate to that.
Absolutely.
So I think to kind of wrap all of this up, it sounds like what we're really talking about is taking those small but consistent steps.
Yeah.
Finding those people who share your interests and your values.
Yes.
And then realizing that it's okay if it feels a little bit awkward at first.
Absolutely. I mean, we're all kind of fumbling through this, right?
Like no one's an expert.
Right. Nobody has all the answers.
Nobody has it all figured out. And, as we wrap up, what's one thing that people listening can do this week?
Oh, I love that. This week. So one tiny thing.
Like however small, it could just be
like
a little thing.
Like sending a text, making a phone call.
Yeah.
Leaving that comment like we talked about.
Something to put yourself out there just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You'd be surprised how those little things can snowball into something really meaningful.
I love that. All right. And on that note, happy friending, everybody.
Yeah, you got this.
We're here to support you on your journey.
Absolutely.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.